you get that locker room and you walk down that hill in between the corn. It's kind of you got to stop and like look around and kind of just take it all in. It's a pretty surreal experience. You can just feel how good the atmosphere is. It just makes playing baseball and 10 times more enjoyable.
Welcome to Illinois Corn TV. My name is John Clem, and I'm the District 7 Director for the Illinois Corn Marketing Board. On this show, we bring you informative ag interviews to position Illinois farmers to grow. We've broken this show up into 2 parts, so let's get started with part 1, our featured interview with Ryne Willard. Ryne is the pitcher for the Normal CornBelters. This week, we talked all about Ryne's baseball journey and his involvement with the CornBelters baseball. Ryne shared his passion for baseball, his beginnings in the sport, and his role within the team. So let's jump right into the interview. Good morning, Ryne. Thanks for joining us today. Wondering if you could share just a little bit about yourself for the audience.
Yeah, good morning, and thank you for having me. So I'm originally from Bloomington, Illinois, born and raised. I'm 20 years old, and I'm currently in my redshirt sophomore year at College of DuPage. It's up in like the Wheaton, Naperville area, so a suburb. A little bit different than the Central Illinois type lifestyle up here. I'm a special education major up here at COD, and I have back home. I have a dad, mom, sister, and dog. It's kind of like
dog.
Yeah. Gotta mention, gotta throw the dog in there.
Oh yeah. All right. Oh, very good. Yeah, thanks for that. So, hoping to talk mostly about baseball today and get some background on your experiences with that and what that means to you. Share with us, where the original passion for baseball came from. How'd you get started playing? Kind of give us that piece of your history.
Well, being named after like a Cub, Ryne Sandberg, definitely probably put a little bit of a different started me in that kind of baseball type aspect, but like from a young age, I just loved being active. I loved being competitive. I loved being out with like my friends and stuff, and so that pushed me to try multiple different sports. And I felt like during that process, I kind of just fell in love with baseball. And at a young age, like the importance of good coaching is like a huge like thing. So I was just beyond blessed to have good coaching, and that just made me fall even more in love with baseball. And kind of like as I got older, it kind of pushed me towards being like, this is probably going to be the sport that gets me the furthest in my athletic ability.
So you're playing ball in college,
Yes,
but then we've also got the CornBelters.
Yep.
And that's certainly probably a big commitment to be able to do both. Talk to us about your involvement in the CornBelters, how you came about going down that road, and maybe even anything that you do within the team outside of just day-to-day baseball.
It's my role with the Belters was a little bit of an interesting start. In 2022, I actually took kind of a gap semester from school, and I wasn't really sure if I was going to continue to play baseball or not. There's a collegiate summer league in Bloomington-Normal called the KCL, and it's four teams but they just play at the CornCrib. And Billy Du Bois is the guy who runs that whole thing. So I wasn't sure if I was going to play baseball anymore, but he kind of pushed it that hey, give it one more shot, see like kind of what happens. And so that summer in 2022, I played for the KCL, and I actually had a really good year. Which was a really big, like, kind of confidence boost for me. And so after that, the CornBelters play out of this the CornCrib, which is where the KCL plays as well. I actually got brought up at the end of our season to like go on like a playoff run. They were going to make the playoffs. I got to pitch in that, and like kind of the atmosphere for the Belters was actually unreal. I always liked for the KCL that you didn't have to travel to games, because there is a kind of a big travel thing. Travel is a big part of summer ball, and I just wasn't sure if I was quite ready for that. But I made some of the best memories on the bus. It was definitely a jump that I love to make. But the KCL really helped me up to the Belters, and then I've been on the CornBelters ever since 2022, and I'll be playing for them again this summer too. So
when do things kind of start for summer ball? When will you start coming down to the CornCrib and having some of those things?
So I'll get done with school ball around May. Well, hopefully it's as late as possible here. That means you've gone pretty far in the playoffs. But because we have a good team up here this year. But for summer ball, it will start like last week of May, first week of June, and then which is nice. It goes right from season, so you don't have to wait a little bit. You don't have to. I like that aspect. So it starts right away as soon as you get up there, and it'll go all summer till about first week of August, I think.
Right. Awesome. Well, we hope so as well, and I look forward to following summer ball and seeing how you and the rest of the Belters do. You mentioned the CornCrib, which is where you guys play. What was your first reaction when you walked into the CornCrib? Certainly, maybe a little bit of a unique name compared to some other stadiums and things. Certainly, something that's important to us. I'm curious what your thoughts were on that.
Oh, when I first walked in the CornCrib, back when I was playing summer ball, I was like 10U. I just remember it was first getting built, and that's when like the CornBelters were part of like the minor league. They were like a Frontier League team. So I would come to games all the time, and I just watch with my parents. That was a pretty cool moment. And then like obviously the times that you got to play on a huge field when you're 10 and with the 10 parents in the stands. But when I got to the Belters, you get that locker room and you walk down that hill in between the corn. It's kind of you got to stop and like look around and kind of just take it all in. It's a pretty surreal experience, especially on nights like on a weekend night when there's a good crowd and stuff. You can just feel how good the atmosphere is. It just makes playing baseball 10 times more enjoyable.
So you mentioned playing baseball since a young age, as most kids do. Who's had some of the most significant influences in your life regarding maybe not only baseball, if it goes on from there, but certainly in baseball and getting you to where you're at today?
Well, the first two obviously that come to mind are my parents. I mean, the amount of time, travel, like high school, like, travel ball, and everything before that's just as much of a grind for them as it is for me. So everything they did for me to get me to the games was actually just remarkable. Taking time off of work they didn't have to do that, but they did because they wanted to like push whatever's best for me. So definitely really are my role models, and I'll always look up to them. I'd say kind of lessons they taught me is obviously I love playing baseball, and my dad and mom love watching me play, but they never said like, hey, you have to play baseball. So like they always pushed for, hey, go out and do what you love, and then we'll always support you with that. So like I always felt comfortable coming home and telling them like what's going on, and I mean just to be able to have that connection and relationship with them is definitely something I'll always cherish and I'll never forget.
So certainly baseball, huge impact to your life, but kind of speaking of that, what's in front of you? You are going to school as well. What are your kind of dreams after school? Whether that's related to sports or not, kind of where do you hope to go from here?
So I kind of plan on getting my degree in special education, and I also like a minor in sports management. So kind of what I'm thinking with that is if baseball does, obviously the goal is to keep playing baseball as long as I can, but that this backup plan in a sense is to get my degree in special education with a minor in sports management, and then kind of do that special education at the high school level so I can also be a high school baseball coach. I always say, like, I worked so hard to keep baseball in my life for this long. I kind of want to keep it as long as I can in my life, even if I'm not playing. So to be able to kind of spread that how much I love the game to like little kids and keep pushing it for them is something that like I really enjoy.
Well, it sounds like you're certainly playing baseball for more than just the fun of it. It's a passion. It's a love, right? And the ability to share that with others, I could see that being a huge impact to your life. And hopefully you get the opportunity to do that, and we look forward to seeing what you can do with those opportunities. At this point in your baseball career, if we want to put it that way, any accomplishments that you want to share with us? I didn't get a chance to maybe dig that deep as I was reading about you, but any things that have happened in your baseball life that are kind of those big impactful moments? Yeah,
I would say I always talk about my high school career up at COD, and they're always like, "Hey, dude, like close the yearbook."
Nah,
but like, no, I accomplished it, so I'm gonna keep talking about it just to kind of give the guys crap up here. But I'd say in high school, I wasn't, so I'm just a pitcher only up here at I don't hit anymore. I just throw. Which is kind of a good thing because the stats didn't lie about when I was. But yeah, the bat. I didn't set the bat down. They got pulled out of my hands.
They took it.
Yeah, they took it. But I won in 2021. I graduated from Normal Community down in Bloomington, and I got Big 12 Conference Pitcher of the Year. So that was definitely an awesome achievement. And like I say, that was an awesome achievement for myself. But like the guys on that team, I mean, they couldn't have helped me out anymore. I'm not a big strikeout guy. I like I'll let them hit it. So the defenders
you got a defense behind you, right? Let that defense do their work. Yeah.
So they did an awesome job that year, and I'd say I mean that's definitely the one that I look back at and I'm like, yeah, that's awesome. That shows my improvement. But also, kind of, there's a quote that I love. It says, "You used to pray for where you're at right now," and I feel like that kind of hits home to me because I've always prayed to play college baseball. So I feel like where I'm at right now is kind of an awesome achievement because not everyone can say they play college baseball. And so, I mean, that's kind of just that alone, and me pitching somewhat like successfully at this level is just kind of something that I've always dreamed of. So it's kind of a good feeling.
No, excellent point. You know, if you look at how many kids play summer rec league ball and youth ball and things, right? And then the percentage of you that have the opportunity to do what you're doing, continue that love, continue that passion, it's pretty small. And the percentage to get on to the next level, unfortunately, is even smaller. It's a game of the best, and you don't know what that opportunity is going to be. So take advantage of it while you can. I'm glad you're having fun doing it. Even if you're not getting to swing the bat anymore, you're still a huge impact for your team. We appreciate watching that, and I'm sure that the fans do as well. So the CornBelters. Let's get to one last kind of point. CornBelters, corn and agriculture is a huge part of Bloomington and Central Illinois. Have you been exposed to any of the agricultural kind of parts of the area and what happens? And if you have, kind of what has that meant to you, or has anything surprised you? And if you haven't, I'll follow it up kind of in a different way.
Yeah, so obviously being from Central Illinois, like I've grown up in cornfields, like Normal Community smack dab in the middle of one. So, I mean, you always see it. And I guess I never really like took in about like actually what's kind of going on. Some of my buddies' families are farmers. I mean, just to see how hard they work is kind of actually like remarkable, just because of everything they do for not only just the community, but just feeding how many people they like supply food for and all that stuff. And I think I was reading something like 96% of farms are family owned. You get the family aspect in that, but you also get it's just like a baseball team. Like the family aspect on a baseball team is what they're doing too, and how they keep passing it down and how they keep taking care of each other is actually kind of cool to see.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Appreciate your comments there, and you hit it right on the head. That 96% of the farms in Illinois are family owned. Certainly something that we're really proud of, and that we want to make sure that we're able to share. But the other thing that I thought that you keyed in on was the hard work. It takes hard work for you on the ball field to have a successful season, and I know it takes a hard work, for the farmers and the farm families to have a successful season as well. We work in seasons, so we've kind of got that in common, and we appreciate the fact that you're able to see that. We appreciate what you do on the ball field, and we look forward to seeing you at the CornCrib this summer. Now let's move on to part 2. Not to be corny. Ryne, did you know that in the movie Field of Dreams, the movie was filmed in Iowa during a drought? So that meant the cornfields actually had to be dyed green. This upset the local farmers who felt it misrepresented the state. That's something. This has been another episode of Illinois Corn TV, where we deliver insightful ag interviews, positioning farmers to grow. Stay tuned for more content every week, and be sure to subscribe on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. We'll see you next week.